Hey collective, grand rise, welcome to the channel. I am MC 5D Astrology and Tarot. You know your girl has to cleanse the reading before we get started. And I was guided to do the tarot and astrology, pull some cards, but to do a collective love reading. As you guys know on my channel, every other week I will put out all of the zodiac signs because we were all the energy and tap into the energy to see what messages are coming through for the collective to help us grow regarding within that zodiac energy. But for some reason, I was guided to do a love message. I'm not gonna lie, the other day I was guided to just hop on and do a love message, but I didn't do it. And so Spirit's just like, didn't we tell you to go do that love message for the collective? So something's going on with the collective. And I can tell because I was kind of like pre-shuffling some of the cards and definitely got the Ace of Wands and the Three of Pentacles out here. Then there was an oracle card that says your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. And there's a little bird. So I see a lot of the collective flying in a new direction regarding love, going where their flock goes, finding their flock, that type of thing. And then I also got the card of limiting beliefs, which says subconscious beliefs impede progress. Check in self. Shadow work, rewiring, subliminals. Yeah, so I just hear a lot of the collective wanting new partnerships and wanting new love, but it has to do with the programming and the mindset that we go into these relationships with that usually 9 times out of 10 have us out of relationships real quick, real fast, okay? So with the Ace of Wands and with the Three of Pentacles, I see that the collective is very fired up and passionate about the unions. They're wanting to be in union. They're wanting love. They're in love. They're learning what love is. However, there is work that has to go into not only having that and seeking that, but maintaining the longevity of that. So if you don't have the inner knowing and the inner strength to maintain a relationship within yourself, you're not going to be able to maintain healthy relationships outside of you. And as you guys know, if you've been here at the channel, you know this channel is all about inner work, inner everything, and then we apply it externally, okay? So I see it's very beautiful that you guys want to be in union. And Spirit is saying that we want to be in union because I'm a part of the collective too, right? So the union is coming in. A new opportunity, a new beginning is coming in. And what I'm getting for a lot of you guys, some of you guys were in a space where you felt alone, or you were in relationships where you still felt alone. So there was a lot of aloneness going on, whether you're by yourself or with someone else, which means at the end of the day, you're always what? By yourself. You come in this world by yourself, they say you're going to leave by yourself. So what I see the collective doing at this present time is realizing that you don't want to be in a relationship that is 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And that means that a lot of the collective is fed up with the ghosting. A lot of the collective is fed up with the runner and the chaser. A lot of the collective has decided that, why am I running or am I chasing anything that automatically the divine says belongs to me? If I am love, if I am all of that, then I'm going to attract all of that, right? So I see the collective in this moment realizing that with this Ace of Wands here, it's like a baton. So it reminds me, if you guys are familiar with track and field, I used to run track, but this reminds me of a baton, you know? And when you are in a relay race with other people, right? It's not just yourself. It's not like the 200 or the 100 or the 400, you know, if you're in a 4x1 or a 4x4, you have a baton and you have to pass that baton on, but you have to make sure during the transition phase of that pass that the other person is in sync and alignment with you, and that they fully understand that they have to grab that baton as well too as you grab it. But then there's a moment of one of you guys have to let go as the other one takes on that baton to continue the race. So what I see is a lot of people coming out of union and breaking away from that baton. So it's like the collective saying, hey, I once upon a time had my hands on this baton. And you had your hands on that baton, and maybe that baton, especially with Ace of Wands energy, it burnt you. It burnt you because it was too hot. It was way too much for you to handle. So it's like getting in union with someone and not knowing what you're getting yourself into. And then over time, you learn that person, you observe that person, and it starts to sink in like, wait a minute. Okay. So then you have a choice. Do you continue to hold on to that baton? Because again, it's really hot, it's gonna burn you. Or do you just let the baton go and let that person do what they do? You know what I mean? Because without you participating willingly in something that's going to hurt you, burn you, doesn't have your highest good in order, then it sets you up for a new paradigm, whether you know it or not, whether you willingly participate or you don't willingly participate. But I see the collective saying, hey, I have a new beginning because I let go of something that hurt me, that didn't serve me, in union or unions with people. I've worked on myself. I'm more passionate and ready for love than ever before. But the divine just wants to remind us that your life does not get better by chance, but it gets better by change, right? You can't wish upon a star and when the wish comes, you just allow it to be there. You have to continue to nurture. It's like a plant, or even a child, whatever you want to do. You have to continue to nurture it, love it, cater to its needs, learn its love language, its needs, so that way it can thrive, it can grow, it can be prosperous. And every now and then, like a plant or a child, it outgrows the pot it's in, right? It outgrows that particular age and it evolves into a new age, or it evolves into a new pot because it's getting bigger. It's growing, it's growing, it's growing. So always remember, no matter how you guys have to exit a relationship, remember that didn't happen by chance. It happened because there was some type of change that you wished upon, that was given to you by the divine. It came down to earth. And now the divine is saying, with this new opportunity, with this newfound beauty, this new beginning, if I bring people in union with you that serve your highest good, what are you going to do? How are you going to move? You pray for a lot of things, but are you ready to receive? Because going back to track and field, the 4x1 and 4x4, again, it's a group effort, and you have to practice at your handoffs. You have to practice coming out of the blocks, and you have to prep, you have to do certain things in order to make it a success. And just because one person in the 4x1 is successful doesn't mean all of them are going to be successful. So you have to be in tune with your team, right? You have to remember that in this journey, that it takes a village. It takes more than just yourself. And when you realize within that 4x1 or that 4x4, you have to hand off that baton to someone. And it's up to them to take that baton and to take care of that baton and pass it on and pass it on and pass it on. And what I see the collective is realizing is that a lot of you guys were giving your time and energy to people that were not giving you that same reciprocation. And we're not talking about financial thing. We're not talking about anything materialistic. We're talking about the spirit, the energy itself. Understanding your value, understanding your worth, not playing games, not being childish, not being immature, right? Being emotionally available, spiritually available, mentally available, physically available, and tapping into who you truly are so you attract that type of person. And so with this new season, I see collective that you guys are going into a space of no longer just accepting anybody's baton, no longer just going into union to be in union. Nobody has time just to be somewhere, just to be somewhere, to be seen. I see the collective moving in a direction where they value integrity. They value relationships that are more than just surface level. And anything that does not serve their highest good, or anything that doesn't align with that, I see people really creating strong boundaries around that in order to attract what they want. And I also see the divine removing you out of people's lives or off that 4x1 or 4x4 relay team to bring in a team that's more adequate for your speed and your level and the race that you're going to be facing up ahead. So collective, be okay with new beginnings and also letting go of any type of relationship or foundation that doesn't serve you, and know that everything happens for a reason. Okay, so let's go ahead and get deeper into the message. That was just a little a little download for you guys. But before we get started, we got to pray. I am MC 5D Astrology and Tarot. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't already, make sure that you turn on those post notification bells so you do not miss Tarot and Astrology Pull a card, whether it's just the general readings for the collective to tap in the energy, or if the divine guides me to do a collective love reading. Either way, only take what resonates. I do read for, again, the collective. So there's many energies that I can tap into. So it may or may not resonate for you, or it could be something that's coming up, or it could just be energy that you've already worked through and gone through. Either way, the divine just wants to send you a message, talk to you, spend some time with you. Sometimes we get caught up in this 3D world that we just forget that our creator just wants to love on us and talk to us, So before we get into it, everybody get comfortable, get what you need in order to be comfortable. If you need to get a notepad, feel free to get a notepad, but you can also rewind the video. But let's get into prayer really quickly. All right. Grand rise, divine and infinity and beyond of all creation that exist around us. Protect us from the energy that does not serve our alignment and balance within. We do reject anything that doesn't serve our highest good. Thank you, divine, for all things and above all things, and for rising our spirit to the occasion of love. Continue to guide us as we experience another part of your creation while we journey this thing called life on Earth School and ascend to awaken our authentic self. In your name we pray to the divine infinity and beyond. Thank you for all that you do, all that you are. Yep, that's about it. Okay, collective. So, let me see. Hold on. That's not the right dig. Hold on. They wanted me to do nothing but love. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so collective, have this new beginning coming in. You're very fired and passionate about it. You want to be in union with people. You're looking forward to going out, mingling. Your life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. So I do see some people a little apprehensive of taking a new leap of faith and love. I see that some of you guys did get burned in love, and so therefore you don't take chances because you feel like nothing in the world is going to change when it comes to the feminine masculine energy out there. Spirit is saying don't think like that, because what you're saying is you're self-reflecting back to the universe how you feel about yourself. So you're telling the universe, I can't change. The feminine energy in me can't change. It can't grow. It can't evolve. The masculine energy within me can't grow. It can't change. It can't evolve. The inner child within me can't grow, it can't change, it can't evolve. My shadow can't grow, it can't change, it can't evolve. Same with your higher self, same with every entity within you. And that's just absolutely not true. You don't change because you don't want to change, or you don't understand that there's some type of change that needs to come in. And that's why the divine will bring relationships into us to help wake us up, to help us understand things about ourselves that we were either blind to, that we chose to overlook, you know what I mean? But either way, or also because we're not blind to it, we didn't overlook it, and we need help, and we're asking the universe to help us. So the divine will send people into our life at different places, different spaces, different seasons in order to give us a new baton, right? And sometimes when you grab that baton, it may be a little fiery. It could be a little hot, you know what I mean? So I'm also getting the collective. Some of you guys were rushing into relationships. It was a sexual-based relationship. It had to do with the fact that that person looked good. You were infatuated by how they looked. And what happened is, instead of you coming from a sexual, spiritual level of saying, yeah, that person looks good, but what is their spirit about? You know what I mean? What's their soul about? Let's check that out first. Some unions, people were going to unions trying to supersede the divine's will and call on that union. And they started to come from a very egotistical standpoint. And some of the collective was out here, let's keep it real, thinking with the lower head, feminine or masculine, and not the upper head. So a lot of sacral energy was being activated. A lot of solar plex energy was probably being activated. And what happens is when you were thinking in an egotistical standpoint or a surface level standpoint when it comes to relationships, if you have a perspective or project something onto someone about how you want them to be, what all of these expectations basically you have in life because of how you were conditioned, or even because of some of your wounds or trauma you haven't healed from. You end up going into a relationship with someone, and like I speak of character, there is this made up character you have in your head about this person. And so once this person steps out of line of that character, and maybe, ad lib a little bit or improv, it takes you off course. It makes you go back to the checklist and saying, wait a minute, your ego's like, that's not on my check. That's not, wait a minute. No. And your intuition is trying to speak to you and say, hey, no, let me show you and help you understand that energy. I allow them to come in your life. Let me show you why you got triggered by that. Let me show you what that means. But a lot of the time, some of us are not even tapped into our intuition, or we are, and we heavily are very intuitive, but we come from an egotistical place. So therefore, intuition, by the time the message comes to us, the ego has echoed something completely different to us. And we're out here in these streets making decisions based upon ego, based upon a certain moment in time. And that causes for a lot of the times after the fact the situation happens, you end up having to self-reflect. And a lot of the times by then the lesson has already happened. And the divine's like, oh, well, that was the lesson. You have to retake that lesson. Or it could be, that was the lesson. Yes, that happened to you. It's okay. You're going to be fine. You passed the test. I needed you to be in that person's life to help them awaken and get closer to me. But don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. You understand energy a lot differently. I have something waiting for you on the other side. Okay. So Spirit is also saying, be mindful of who you decide to be in a relationship with, because everybody is not meant for relationships, in the sense of they haven't done enough work on themselves. They don't even know who they are. They really don't even know what they like or they want. They've been told what they like and what they want, but that's not necessarily tying into their authentic energy. So what happens is, a lot of the times you'll meet people that are good for you, but your ego has, again, a character in mind that you're looking for, or you're used to a certain character. And so you're praying for something different. The divine brings it to you, but you can't see past the physical. You can't see past what your ego sized them up to be. And when that person doesn't live up to that, and they live up to their divine authentic order, then that can cause conflict, because then you feel like you were being played or misguided or misled or, betrayed. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe it's because you had in your mind that this person was going to be this, that, and the third, and you held them to a certain pedestal or standard. And then when you realized your pedestal, your standard that you held someone else to, that you didn't ask them if they even wanted to be on that pedestal or that standard, it crumbles. Then the tower happens. And then the heartbreak comes, and the upsetness comes, and then you have to work through your emotions and deal with it. And a lot of times, collective, I see people just moving on to other situations, and they're not dealing with it. They're not learning the lesson within the lesson. They're asking for these blessings, but when the blessing comes, they discard the blessing and just go on to something else. And then they're wondering why nothing in their life is changing. They think everything's just happening. Oh my gosh, why is this happening to me? I can't catch a break. Yes, you can if you stop. Anyway, so let's get some more messages, collective. Spirit, what do you want the collective to know? I just heard fiery, hot, and passionate. So I do know Valentine's Day. This is January. So Valentine's Day is next month. It's in February, right? Spirit is saying, don't fall for the okie doke, y'all. Some of you guys have people trying to come back into your life that are just lonely. They miss the idea of you that they painted in their head about you, but they aren't really there for you because they don't even know themselves in order to know how to get to know someone else authentically. So be careful of people from your past possibly trying to come back and woo you and awe you. Some of you guys are already moved on, and you're in healthier foundations, or you're moving towards a healthier foundation. You may just have energy lingering around trying to see if you're still in the same person or version that you were before, and they can just creep back in. Spirit is saying, remember your worth. Remember, your life does not get better by chance, but it gets better by change, okay? All right, Spirit, what messages do we have for the collective regarding love? Everybody out here loving. Ooh, something flew. In the reverse, we have let go of control issues, allowing the situation to unfold naturally. So automatically, I get two different messages. The fact that it came out in reverse. Some of you guys are dealing with people or have dealt with people, or it is you and you need to work on this with trying to control the outcome and the flow of the movement of this 4x1 or 4x4 meter race in this track and field. I may name this track and field, I don't know. You have to let go of expectations, because what happens is a lot of times your expectations are tied to karmic cycles regarding low vibrational karmic cycles. And then when you get out of that, a lot of times folks aren't healing, taking time for themselves, or moving on to the next. They got to be underneath someone because they don't have self-love. You know, they have abandonment issues, all type of things, right? They have to emotionally probably manipulate you to even get your attention to begin with. So you're dealing with a lot of people who just have a lot of trauma. And if you don't take time out to heal that trauma and to understand, like the message is saying, your life does not get better by chance, but by change, then you're going to go into every relationship skeptical. You're going to be, it's one thing to be on your P's and Q's and just be alert and to observe, but it's one thing to just have this guard up so heavy where you automatically go in playing games and you don't even realize you're playing games. Some of you guys don't, some of you guys do, but either way, you just are not being real with yourself in order to allow something into your life just to come and be of a blessing. So I'm seeing that some of you guys need to learn to just be in union with people and stop trying to manipulate and control the flow or the outcome of things. Stop thinking that your vibrational energy isn't enough, that you have to be in the sense of, I'm here materialistic. And the fact that we have the Three of Pentacles and it's Pentacle energy, a lot of you guys carry yourself a certain way and people probably misjudge you by that. And then some of you guys are just attracting people who are materialistic, who don't understand the value of a relationship. They hold the value of a relationship in the stance of, this person has to buy me this, or this person has to go here with me, or this person needs to be spending this amount of money on me, or this person has to have this type of car or live in this type of place, or, you know, have this group of social, you know, people, titles, like all of those things. A lot of people are, again, being conditioned to be in relationships based upon that. And what happens is you end up missing out on true, authentic love. You end up coming across people that are actually really good for you, but because you're conditioned by society to view love as if it's a transaction, as if somebody owes you something that you're not even giving to yourself, you then start to feel a way about when you don't get it. So you have to be mindful of that and to remember that you have to let go of control issues and know that everything happens for a reason. Everything's divine timing and everything happens for you, not to you. Now, the other group of people I'm getting is you have learned to let go. Because when it came on the verse, that's the group of people who are like, I'm not stuck in the past no more. I've healed. I've worked through it. I've done too much work on myself. I love myself way too much. I've been through way too much to go backwards, to deal with people and their places and their things and their baggage, you know, their third party situation. And that could be themselves getting in the way. That could be other people, whatever it is. You know, unresolved issues, fatherhood, motherhood, like whatever the case is, you're just not about that life because you've done the work on yourself. So what I'm getting at is a lot of you guys have done the work on yourself. So you know good and well there's people out there that you can attract that have done the work on themselves as well too. So yes, you may have options and people coming through like a relay race, you know, but you're standing still. You're not the runner or you're not the chaser, because you know that once you stop running and chasing and you stand still, that allows you to see everyone else on the track who's standing still as well too, who's confident within their skin, you know, who is doesn't have low self-esteem, who doesn't have to put on a mask or a front in order to attract or get what they want, who knows who they are and satisfied with who they are and doesn't have to chase and run behind anything. The only thing we should be chasing and running behind is God, all right? And ourselves, because we are God. Remember? God lives in you. It's the God in me. Mary said it best. But yeah, letting go of control issues, allow the situation to unfold naturally. So some of you guys as well too, they bring up Valentine's Day. Some of you guys may be ending relationships right before that particular holiday. Maybe you've been with this person for a while, or some of you guys are expecting something out of someone to do something for you, and maybe you just started dating, or maybe you've been kind of dating for a while. But either way, Spirit is like, let go of expectations, because if they're not love bombing you 24/7 and being consistent with it, that one day on February the 14th is not going to change. Don't allow the hype to get to you. Don't allow when you go out into the world to see all these lovey-dovey things to get to you. Embrace it, embrace it. Be happy that we have a holiday that love is even celebrated, because we live in a world where love, they don't teach us how to love ourselves. I've talked about that before in other videos. But remember your self-value and your worth. You don't want to celebrate that type of holiday, or just in general, whether it's Valentine's Day or not. But you don't want to celebrate with someone who you don't really feel at home with or comfortable with. You don't really like, you don't really love, Let's just stop being out here doing things and being with people and posting things on social media just to appear to be happy and to look good, when deep down inside you're miserable. Some people are in relationships and they are miserable, and they post on social media only the highlights of things. And even in the highlights, them folks was probably just arguing 5 minutes before they took that picture of that video, and they're back arguing. So Spirit is saying to the people who've done the work on themselves, be patient, be kind to yourself, be your own Valentine, be your own love bomb. You know what I mean? Some of you guys, to my girls and my guys, I just see somebody with a beard. Go get that beard taken care of. Love on your beard. Get a massage. To my masculines, and I do like me some beards, I'm not gonna lie. To my feminine, y'all go do what you do. Go do what you do. And again, we're all feminine, masculine energy, so do whatever you need to do. If you need to get a wax, if you need to, whatever makes you happy, start to fill those voids up with your own self-love, okay, collective, and know when it's time for somebody special to come in. They're going to come in right on time, and it's going to be usually when you least expect it, okay? But Spirit is saying also pay attention to the frauds out there, these folks who just really out here slanging and wanging, okay? Who really just want someone just to whether it's to make someone else jealous, which is crazy. Some of y'all may be dealing with that. Maybe you were with someone who was trying to make somebody else jealous, possibly, and so they were chasing you because of how you looked or how you appeared, or maybe they thought that, you could make, oh, this is not nice. Some of the collective is going through something where, physically speaking, how society tells us to view looks, you may have been someone that is really good looking, and maybe you came across energy that saw you and wanted to, get in an entanglement, but they were only really doing it because they were involved with somebody else that wasn't giving them what they wanted. And so they were trying to make them jealous, third party situation. And they thought by doing that was going to bring some type of change by chance. And Spirit ended up really either has or already shown them a lesson about doing things like that, because you can get in trouble with the spirit world playing games like that if okay. So let go of control issues. That's one message. What else I got from my collective spirit? Some of you guys are about to go on some type of romantic vacation or holiday. So some of you guys may have people reaching out that you've been in rapport with, or maybe you guys are dating and it's just, it's moving slow, or you're taking it slow and they kind of want to speed up the pace a little bit is what I'm getting. Yeah. Hand of cards. All right. Ace, what is that? Ace of spades. Take a chance. Wow. This card has chance on it. Take a chance, risk, being strategic, options, not showing hand, gambling. Okay. So what I'm getting from that is some of you guys, somebody's planning something special for you and they're not showing you their hand. So they may be acting a little weird either now or within the next few weeks. So like I said, maybe they're planning a vacation for you guys, or maybe they're wanting to propose, so they can engage you, right? Or maybe it could be something with Valentine's Day, because Spirit keeps bringing up Valentine's Day. Whatever it is, Spirit is saying that if someone's acting weird, you should know yourself enough to know the person you're in union with, to know if it's something regarding a situation where it's not healthy, you need to leave, versus maybe it's a surprise. So Spirit is saying it's about a mindset, right? It's about taking a chance and gambling on a new mindset. A lot of us are programmed to automatically think something negative when somebody pulls back their energy, or if someone kind of moves a little bit differently. Maybe it has nothing to do with you. Maybe they just got a lot going on in their life. So don't always take on other people's energy. But nevertheless, be strategic as well too, is what I'm getting with how you allow yourself to be shown appreciation. Because a lot of the times you have people out here gaslighting you just to get a reaction out of you, and that reaction continues to feed them. So Spirit is saying you have to be mindful of who you're getting your time and your energy to, because everyone is not really out here strategically planning something that's going to benefit you. They're really strategically planning something that's going to benefit them and leave you high and dry like the baton. Like, they're going to hand you the baton. Once you catch it, they're going to let it go, but they're going to make sure you don't really have a full grip of it. So you let it go and ain't nobody got nothing. So right when you thought you was going to get a little something, they pull back, so just be careful with, that. Some of you guys need to protect your energy and take it slow, because Pinnacle energy, it gets stuff done, but it moves slow. It's not like the sword energy in the deck, right? Fast movement, fast pace, all that type of stuff. What I'm seeing is the phoenix that rose from the ashes. And it's interesting because this bird is here, right? So Spirit is saying that you're going to be given a brand new opportunity, a brand new hand. So it's like playing spades, and maybe you got a lot of good cards in your hand. But Spirit is saying in this new season, if you let go of control issues, I can show you how to use that hand to your advantage in the spade game, right? I can show you what card to put out on what person and when to pull it out on them. So, and you can still preserve your other cards that are actually going to be really good later on. So Spirit is saying in this season, don't get caught up with the fact that you want love so bad, or you want to be liked so bad. This could be in platonic relationships as well too. So take it how it applies. Don't be so quick to want to be accepted, because you can end up being a part of something that burns you, or end up being a part of something that isn't the best for you. Okay. So be strategic about your energy. Be strategic about how you move and who you move with, and be confident in that choice. Some of you guys need to work on your self-confidence. And some of you guys are probably dealing with someone who didn't really have self-confidence. They had low self-esteem, but maybe they look good on the outside. Maybe they were very attractive on the outside, but inside they had a lot of turmoil going on, right? And maybe they, in order to continue to make themselves feel good, they occupy themselves with a lot of things. So maybe they have, maybe it was work, it could be other people, but either way, I just see someone, I just heard pretending to be busy at work. I don't know, maybe some of you guys were dealing with someone who, so they couldn't control you, and you weren't showing your hand. You weren't just moving so rapidly fast, but you were moving fast enough, because the wand energy is, movement coming in, right? They were trying to change the direction of how things went. And what happened was, because of this control issue, because of what was going on, they weren't getting what they wanted, or so they thought. And so they pull back their energy. And then so now they are putting their energy more back into other things that they feel are gonna be like a return on investment. So Spirit is saying for that type of energy, if you're dealing with that, don't worry about it. It's okay. Everything happens for a reason. They are more concerned, did you learn the lesson that was supposed to be learned out of it? And if you're still trying to figure out that lesson, dig a little bit deeper, because they don't want you taking that energy into a new situation that is coming in for you, because you guys did womanifest or manifest a healthy partnership. You did do that. Some of you guys had to go through dealing with some really just, men or women who just, you were like, yo, if y'all send me one more chicken head, you know what I'm saying? You gonna feel away. You gonna feel away. And if some of y'all have been really tainted in love, you just are like over it. Some of the collective is just over it. And Spirit's like, don't give up. 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 Keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. That's what I hear right now. All right. So we already have limiting beliefs out here. Let's see what else we have for the collective. I heard some of you guys need to show your mama some love. I don't know. So maybe some of your mothers may be single, or they could be a widow, or, you know, maybe they just, you know, are single. And instead of you looking so much for love externally from like the opposite sex, even though we're our feminine masculine energy within us, Spirit is just like, take this time out for Valentine's Day or any day, you know, to show love differently. Love is not always the way man says it is regarding romance on the outside. Like I say, I feel like all relationships are romantic, platonic. They go hand in hand. They're like butt buddies. But Spirit is saying, look at love from a new perspective. Because with Pentacle energy, that's about family and friends as well too, right? So maybe some of y'all need to hit up some of y'all guy friends, your girlfriends. Look at this. What does it say? And y'all go do something together. Respond versus react. Express from a loving place. Old trigger trauma yields drama. New beneficial thought patterns. And it landed on your life doesn't get better by chance. It gets better by change. And it came out sideways. Okay, so I hear... All right, collective, let's get ready for this. Hold on. Somebody may be coming in to communicate and have a conversation with you, but they're trying to control the narrative. They're not coming in being fully honest or authentic, or they want to be, but they're just so used to thinking in a very toxic way. So they're just toxic. Okay. But nevertheless, in general, somebody wants to communicate or have a conversation with you. They really want to express their love, their higher self, their highest self. Can y'all see that? I don't know if it's focusing, right? But this an X on here. So that's like the 10 of everything except, well, the 10 of Pentacles. I guess we're going to use that, the 10 of Pentacles, because the Pentacles are out here. So this is someone who can see themselves with you. They feel like you're very nurturing, loving, you're stable. You have a lot going for yourself, or you're getting yourself in order to have a lot going for yourself, right? Either way, you have good energy around you. And maybe something happened within the dynamic, and it caused for a shift or a separation. It caused for having to let go and trust the divine, and not trying to control how something went or stay in a situation longer than you're supposed to be in, because something was going to be revealed, right? Not showing the hand, gambling. So something's going to be revealed within this conversation with this person possibly. But I do see with the respond versus react coming sideways, I see somebody just going at it, going back and forth and back and forth. So be mindful of your energy, collective. Somebody may just be trying to trigger you to get a response out of you, to see if you will entertain their toxic ways and go back and forth. And then I see a group of people, this person, and this is different energy, somebody wanting to come in and wanting to speak to you, but they just really don't know how. They really have deep feelings for you, and they want to build with you. They want to work with you. They want this partnership. They see something very longevity with you. It's something different about you. I heard your spirit is different, and they had to let go of an old mindset and old ways and an old thinking pattern and trying to control who you were. Some of you guys are very just strong will, you know, you're dominant in your own energy. And so you met your match. And I guess this person may have felt like, oh, I can't control them. I can't do certain things I'm used to. That means I have to be my real self. If I'm my real self, I might be exposed. My vulnerable parts might be exposed. And I haven't healed from those vulnerable parts because I was vulnerable with someone else and they used it against me. They nitpicked it against me. So I see someone who just really is fired up and passionate about a relationship, or wanting to be with someone, or met someone that really brought out the best in them, and it brought some type of shift, some type of change, but they had limiting beliefs, right? They weren't being upfront and honest about who they were. They were letting their ego get in the way and control the narrative of the situation instead of listening to their intuition. And therefore something probably happened regarding communication, and a conversation was had where they responded, you reacted and they responded, right? It was like a chemical transaction. And I feel like now this person, you guys are talking in the ether. So maybe they're sending you signs and symbols and synchronicities and stuff. I heard music. I just heard Love by Music Soul Child. If this ain't romantic, I don't know what is. And then I just heard Kenny Lattimore, For You. Okay. So Love by Music Soul Child, Kenny Lattimore. I think it's For You. Yeah. Go listen to those two songs, you guys, collective. Somebody trying to get all lovey-dovey with you. I like it. But just be mindful of triggers, because a lot of times, okay, so this is what I'm also getting. Be mindful of triggers, because I see like there's a dynamic with energy and I'm feeling this like in my heart and my solar plex right now. Someone is just lacking confidence. Somebody was putting on a facade or a face, but that's not really who they are. But you were able to see who they really are, and now they're thinking about you, because whoever this is, you're not in union with them. So this is probably somebody from the past. They could have been fire energy, so Sagittarius, Aries, Leo. But when I say that, remember, we're all the signs. So I always say look at the mirror house to that. So Sagittarius is the mirror to Gemini, Leo is the mirror to Aquarius, and then Aries is the mirror to Libra. So that any of those energies, period, any of those energies, and any of those next door energies, which means all of it, Scorpio, Capricorn, Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Virgo, everybody up in here, okay, basically. But what I do see is that somebody is just realizing now the value and the worth and the magnetic attraction that they actually shared with someone. I'm also seeing somebody realizing that there was no real attraction or magnetic, they were just, nothing was really there. It was just, everything was just physical. Everything was physical. So I just see either you're having a conversation with someone or you're having a conversation with self about a union that either serves you or did not serve you. And if it's an external conversation, someone coming in trying to communicate, it's different groups of people I'm getting. Some of them are still in low vibrational energy, so they're just really coming back to stir up trouble, and you've healed or you're in the process of healing, so be mindful of that. And then some of them just don't know how to communicate because they don't know, they can't read your hand, they can't read you, because they really don't know you that well yet, or they thought they knew you, but they didn't really take time to get to know you. So now they're a little apprehensive of, how do I approach this person? What do I say? What do I not say? Because they probably said enough already, So either way, some kind of conversation, somebody wants to rework something out, have a conversation, talk about some things, but be mindful of the fact that you've dealt with this person already. And if you've done the work within this time frame and y'all have been separated, the divine, when that person does try to come back, some of you guys are not even gonna give this the time of day. And that's because you're doing what the divine told you. Some of you guys are being led to allow that door to be open to hear what that person has to say, because the divine is gonna show you something else about that person. Okay, sometimes the divine allows us to be in situations just to observe in order for us to get a bigger lesson later on when we're not around that person, when we're separated. Some of it has to do with just learning people and behaviors and the psychological aspect behind people. So when you deal with that later on in life, or you interact with that type of person, you can spot it dead on before it comes like a mile away, and you know how to protect yourself. Okay, so then we have Flamingo, enjoying friends, balancing chaos, dealing with your emotions, mastering your energy vibration. Like I said, outside of society telling us what love is, what like is, and how to celebrate love, and always being tied up in romantic stuff, enjoy your friends. Like I said, somebody need to take their mama out. I remember one Valentine's Day, I did something for my mom that was really romantic. If you're going to look at it from a man's standpoint, most people be like, oh, that's something a man would do. But I got masculine energy within me too. I know how to treat myself, my own feminine energy. She's not neglected anymore. The work was done. Catch it? Anyways, but some of you guys just need to spend some time with your friends. Even if you do have somebody special in your life, you can split that time and energy up. You know what I mean? Allow yourself to be love all over. So do stuff with your friends, do stuff with your family, and if you have something body romantic, do something with them. Spirit is saying keep the balance. Don't lose sight of balance when it comes to love. Sometimes we get caught up on this February. I don't know why. I guess because Valentine's Day is coming around, like duh. But we get caught up on certain things and we neglect other areas of our life that show us love. So don't remember, love is so much deeper than what society tells us it is. And that's why we have a lot of people misguided in attracting people or going forth certain things or having expectations that are not real. It's an illusion because they don't understand what love is. Okay. So that is that, and this is that, and why is why, because that's what the divine said. All right, let's get some love oracle messages. We gonna wrap this up. I wrapped y'all for almost an hour. See, that's what happened. I was planning on being here for like 30 minutes. Spirit, what messages do we have for the collective? These cards are kind of hard to shuffle sometimes because they are heart-shaped. I be trying. It be giving me a hard time, so I'm gonna just Oh, I did split the deck. It said new beginning. And we just talked about the Ace of Wands giving you a new beginning, right? New beginning. A new adventure awaits. Embrace it and live your dreams passionately. With the Wand energy, all about fire and passion. Also very intuitive energy. So pay attention, collective, to the lessons you learn in like or love, platonic or romantic already, because everyone got a new beginning coming in. The thing is, when this new beginning comes in, how do we respond? How do we react? What's our limiting beliefs? You know, are we self-checking ourselves, making sure we're not projecting? Are we ready to show our hand and be vulnerable in a relationship? Do we know how to let go of the old and allow the divine to guide us in something new? Because a lot of us want love and they give it to us, but they're trying to guide us and teach us the handbook, the plays, so we can be successful. But we working out of the ego, the matrix book. And then we wondering why we in new humans and it's not successful. Because you got a wrong study guide. How you gonna try to use a cheat sheet and you got the wrong cheat sheet? Make that makes sense. You walked out the house with the wrong cheat sheet? You must be cheating a lot. Okay, Spirit went there because, ooh, and heart with the key came out in reverse. Some of you guys are coming out of heartbreak like we spoken, but I hear somebody wants you to unlock their heart. And I also heard that you guys unlock someone's heart, but I also see somebody finding out something that's going to break their heart and they're going to have to walk away from something. Either way, collective, we're going to be all right. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We catch vibes over here, remember. We catch vibes. We catch vibes. And remember, one of my quotes I always say is, people are like bus stops. There's always a bus and a stop along the way. It's going to come. Something like that. Something like that. All right, let's see. Sacred union. Oh my gosh. And then we have at the bottom of the deck. Okay, let's see. Sacred union. Honor and treasure your relationship, for it is truly sacred. Yes, collective. I love this message because what I got from it is, no matter what happened or who was involved within the lesson you had to learn, it was a sacred union because everyone is sacred to the divine. Nonetheless, some of you guys are on the part where you feel like you weren't honored, you weren't treasured in the relationship. Somebody didn't see your worth or your value. Spirit is like, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Remember, we catch vibes over here. We're good. Okay? Somebody on the other end who may have done this, they're realizing now the sacred union that was brought into their life and how they didn't honor and treasure the relationship. And it's because they don't honor and treasure themselves. Okay? When somebody mistreats you, it's usually a reflection of themselves. But a lot of times we take on other people's energy. So Spirit is like, remember that you are in a sacred union with me first, then with yourself, and then with everyone around you. Okay? So always know that you are the treasure. You are the gold. You're the treasure chest. You're everything. Okay? You're the whole 9 yards. And sometimes people have to be removed from your life in order for you to see your own worth, and or for them to see your worth, and or just for you to see your worth. And they're going to continue to do what they do. And it's going to come a time and a place, like I said, they're going to be in a 4x1 relay or 4x4 relay with somebody. And guess what? When it's their time to catch the baton, Spirit got a lesson for that ass. Okay? And they're going to be the ones to have to holding a hot ass baton. Okay? You don't want no hotness around here. That's another message for another day. Anyways, criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are, and your relationship will magically transform. I'm getting this about respond and react with this card, right? First, union within yourself. Your divine feminine and masculine inner child, you got to be in alignment together. If you guys are at odd, you're going to attract somebody else who's at odd with their own feminine, masculine energy and inner child. Period, point blank. Number 1, love yourself, work on yourself. Like yourself, work on yourself. Period. If you have to be alone to do that and turn down opportunities and people and places and things, let go of what you're used to and not show your hand so you can heal, so something great can come in, you can have a new life, do that. And don't be afraid to do it. Be afraid to step back. Go hermit mode. It is okay. It's the best thing that could happen. It really is. It is. You'll be fine. Okay? The other thing I'm getting is some of you guys have really, really worked on yourself, and you guys are going to be tested. Some of you guys either already have, you will, or it's going to be coming up. You may not see it. So Spirit's trying to give you a little doop doop. like I said, a little cheat sheet right now. Express from a loving place. If somebody is coming at you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, whether it's just they talking and you just know they lying, or they're aggressive with how they talk, or they just, whatever the case is, you have to remember that you are loved and you have to come from a loving place. That's not saying let this person walk all over you, do whatever they do. What they're saying is, how much love do you have for yourself in order to have someone come up to your level versus you coming down to their level, which is actually bringing you down to a whole nother level, which means you below them, because now they feel like they got range on you. So be careful, collective, with these exit exams. A lot of us are going through exit exams. You have already studied, passed, and did everything with the exit exam. The exit exam is about reviewing what you've already learned and passed. So if you've already learned it and passed it, you have got to be careful with how you show your hand. And that is just saying you better tap into intuition first before you open your mouth. Don't let the ego out here pull no book from the old Matrix Akashics trying to give you guidance. You gonna get in trouble. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Okay? So some of you guys are still needing to go through situations because there's still old triggers and traumas within you that you don't even realize that's within you, and you're actually helping keeping up the drama. And since this is a love reading collective, 5th house energy is Leo energy. And we were talking about, Leo, Sagittarius, Gemini, and the mirror houses. And the mirror house to Leo is Aquarius. And we're about to go into Aquarius season soon, after Capricorn season, still Capricorn season, then Aquarius season. And Valentine's Day is during Aquarius season. That is all air energy. So a lot of people are good with words. They can manipulate things, say whatever they want to say. Some people are not good with words. They will twist things and say what they want to say. Nevertheless, the collective, we're all being challenged right now to remember where we have come from and how far we've grown, and to not fall back into old behavior patterns because we're still in union with the collective in general, with people that may be in a different evolution path than we're currently on. You have to remember that when you're dealing with energy like that and you get back in union or have an opportunity to have a conversation, you have to remain up here, yo. You don't come off your throne. I'm seeing the Queen of Swords right now. Don't come off your throne. And even when you're spoken to, everything ain't meant for a response. Because sometimes people are just doing that to trigger you. Or they're doing it, because they feel like they're been triggered. So they want to be the chaser and the runner. Nobody got time for all of that. You make them come to your level. And the only way to do that is to come from a place of love. So you may have to kind of, how you're not going to talk to an elementary class the way you would talk to a class that, is graduate school. That's 2 different type of mentalities going on, and level of capacity of what those mentalities can take in and absorb. So remember who you're dealing with. Spirit saying you already know who you're dealing with. So some of you guys, again, having energy just come in from the past, or people or currently dealing with now, you know who you're dealing with, and you should know who you're dealing with because you should know who you are. So if you don't know who you're dealing with, or you have questions about it, it's because you don't know who you are. And that means you didn't take time out to know who you are. Therefore, you didn't take time out to know who they are. Okay? So be careful. This is just, Spirit is heavy on this right now because I just feel like there's something going on in the ethers that some of you guys may not see coming. And Spirit is wanting you to remember that how you respond versus how you react is going to play a big part into things. I'm also going back to the beginning of the message. Some of you guys, you've already gone through this, and somebody reacted to you and your response was not a reaction. And so that's why they're in their head and they're trying to figure out, how do I approach this situation? This person feeds me differently. This person isn't, combative. This person isn't, what I think of. Because I saw a video the other day when a woman was saying, the reason why some men or women act the way they act in new relationships is because the programming, psychological, they're used to being abused, to being talked to crazy, to being in just low vibrational energy where it's really just whether it's fighting, arguing, cheating, cussing, going back and forth, whatever it is. And so the energy within us, it gets immune to that type of being fed. And so when you go into a healthy union that's peaceful, that don't give that to you, your energy doesn't know how to react to that. So it comes off as your ego will tell you, oh, this is boring, instead of, oh, this is healthy, because you don't know how to identify healthy. So to you, because you're not being triggered in the way that you're used to, it can come off as boring. And healthy relationships are not boring. They're just different if you don't know what healthy is. So be mindful of that, collective, as well too. And also change your thought patterns. Some of you guys need to change your thought pattern about some people can't change, because it's not true. Some people are coming back to show you that they've changed, and they don't have to necessarily speak it. They're showing you by their actions. So pay attention, not to just people's words, but their actions. It tells you a lot as well too. But also be mindful of how you think about yourself, because you have to work on the fact that you have a lot of people around you, or may have been, society teaches us that, you do one thing and, it sticks to you for the rest of your life, like you can't change or evolve. And that's just not true. So if you don't believe that you can grow and change and evolve to attract healthy love, then who else going to tell you that? That means you have to be reassured all the time. That means you are codependent on someone else doing that to make you feel comfortable. Be comfortable in your own skin, collective. Okay. And then lastly, we have criticizing one another will only lead to further unhappiness. Love and accept each other as you are in a relationship will magically transform. Okay, so that was with that. Yeah, that goes with that. This has to do with just letting people be where they are, and you're going to see the transformation within the relationship no matter what. Because no matter what, like some water, it's going to flow in the river. The only way something's stopping it is even if you put something in the river, it can flow around it. It's a detour. It's just a detour. So some of you guys need to take time out just to heal and to change the way you think about love, how you feel about love. So that way something new can come in, but it starts with the mind. And your mind is tied to your spirit and your emotions. So if your emotions are blocked off, if your spirit is blocked off, you don't know how to let go of something familiar to have something unfamiliar that you actually prayed for, you're going to end up having issues in relationships, and you don't need to. And then we have, lastly, emotions are a natural and necessary part of life, but they can also distort your perception and cloud your vision in order to see things clearly. You must let go of resentment. Collective, if you or someone you're dealing with is showing any signs of not fully healed or over a past person, place, or thing, you need to listen and pay attention to the red flags and to the warnings. Sometimes you're just observing to see how deep that person is within that energy, and then you pull back. But sometimes it's so in your face that the divine's like, run. This is when you run, right? Run. But I'm also hearing some of you guys just need to stay still, because they're going to end up running away anyway, because they're not going to be able to receive what you have to offer, period. Okay? So be careful of asking the universe to send you something good, but you're not healed from the past in order to receive it. And you're in this old mindset of what you think something is, and it's not. That's how you miss out on some really great things in life. And collective, we don't want people missing out on nothing. But I'm going to end it here. I've wrapped y'all almost for an hour. Again, I thought this was going to be like 30 minutes, but it wasn't. Okay. And then lastly, we do have palm trees. So I'm going to leave this where it's at: stability, security, growth, endurance, flexibility. And the palm tree, again, about our inner tree. So I see the collective moving towards serendipity. I see the collective moving towards stability, right? I see the collective realizing wherever they were at wasn't stable, and they wanting to move towards stability. So like the 8 of Cups, walking away from something that doesn't serve you and not repeating the past. The 6 of Wands, being confident, being seen,